Today, I'm excited to have this guest on. He's someone that I've become really close friends with over the last couple of years. I see him as an exceptional man of faith, leader, father, husband, entrepreneur, builder. And his story is a lot deeper and a lot more moving than I even imagined. So it moved my wife to tears. And hopefully, as you listen, you'll identify something on your journey with my guest, Devin Burr, today. So get ready. Let's get excited and listen to the wisdom that's dropped here. And you don't want to miss out. Listen all the way to the end to hear the full journey. Take us back to when you're on the couch. You got $300 to your name. You're almost bankrupt, basically homeless. You already have Haley, your first daughter. What was the story that you were telling yourself as a man in that moment?
The story that was going on between my ears was definitely different than the one I was portraying. I think a lot of us we struggle with that. Like there's things that go on in between our ears, but then we try to hide what are really going through. That was me. I was
Mm,
trying to hide all the struggle that I was going through, financial struggles. I had, like I had mentioned, $300 to my name. I literally filed bankruptcy, Chapter 7. Couldn't afford the apartment my daughter and I were living in. It was a one-bedroom apartment. Couldn't afford that anymore. So
mm,
I moved in with a friend of mine. I rented a room, or just a room from him. And it was like $300, $400 a month. So he hooked me up with a good price, but I was a full-time single dad at that time. I won full custody of my daughter. She was 9. And I had to move her and I into just a room. And just to afford that rent to my friend, I had to sell my bed. I had to sell most of my belongings.
mm.
So me and my daughter are sleeping on a mattress on the ground. I'm
Wow.
31 years old.
Wow.
And I've been in sales since I was 16. My first job was telemarketing, um, selling long distance with MCI. So that dates
Mm,
me a little bit. That was
mm,
before everyone had iPhones that have long distance.
mm,
So I always thought like by 31, I was going to be a huge success, multimillionaire. I'd be able to retire
mm.
at 30.
Interesting. Okay. So you already had that vision. You already had this vision of a bigger success. Like you already imagine yourself being successful.
Yeah, as a kid, I thought I'd just be wildly successful, but I never worked on me my entire life up until 31. So I was struggling financially. I was struggling in relationships. I couldn't hold a relationship more than a couple of months. And
Mm,
when I finally was like, you know what, I'm ready to settle down, I'm ready to like be a man. This was 28 years old. And I think a man is someone who puts other people before themselves. Like a
mhm.
boy is selfish. He wants it all for him. It's all about him. A man starts thinking like, I want to put other people first. So at 28, that's where I kind of had that mind shift. And then I thought I met my wife, my future wife. And I'm sitting on that bed with my daughter at 31, that mattress on the ground. And I lost it because I was financially broken. I was spiritually broken, didn't know what I was doing, didn't know who I was. I thought I was a fake.
Mm,
The whole time I'm putting this persona out to my daughter that I'm super dad. You know, I'm I never showed her weakness. On that bed, I remember the date, October 22nd of 2016.
Wow.
That woman that I thought was the one broke my heart. And my daughter was 9. I shielded all of my pain, all of my struggles, everything from her. I couldn't do it anymore. On that bed, while she's sitting next to me, I got my head down and I just lose it. I start bawling my eyes out. Like I couldn't breathe. My daughter starts crying because I'm crying. She's asking what's wrong. Because she's crying, this is my little princess. I see her crying and it makes me just lose it even more. I get so emotional just thinking about it now. I had thoughts of suicide. I was in such a dark place mentally. And when I finally had the like ability to catch my breath even and say something to her, I asked this little girl if I was a good dad
Mm,
because I literally felt like I failed at life. And this little girl saved my life because she lifted my chin up at 9 years old and she looks me dead in the eyes and she says, "You are the best daddy." I'll tell you this right now, guys. I wasn't a good dad. I wasn't even hardly around. I was like, I wasn't there. I wasn't present. I had my phone all the time on Instagram and I wasn't a good person, period. But this little girl saw me as Superman. October 22nd of 2016, my life changed because she thought I was something special. I
Mm,
knew I had to actually be what she thought I was because
wow.
eventually she was going to see through the BS. She wasn't always going to be a naive 9-year-old.
Mm,
She was eventually going to see daddy isn't, he's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So from that day forward, guys, I started reading books in bed with her on that mattress on the ground. I'm reading to her mindset books. I'm reading real estate books. I'm reading to like become more valuable. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm watching inspirational videos on YouTube. All of my downtime was working on me. And within 1 month of that day, on November 27th of 2016, I went on my first date with my now amazing, unbelievable, gorgeous, perfect wife. She is literally made for me. Here's the thing though. I was worthy of her because I worked on me.
wow. And
Period.
that shift was only a month, right? Like you,
One
so
month.
your moment was only your never again moment was when Haley looked you in the eyes and said, "You are the best daddy in the world," right? Because you felt like you had to rise up as a man. Like you said, you stopped being a little boy, selfish boy, and you rose up. That's powerful. So a lot of men, a lot of people listening, a lot of our group, a lot of our ecosystem, a lot of men, a lot of people, they stay stuck in scarcity. What shifted you from, well, you just kind of mentioned it was Haley, but what shifted inside of you from trying to survive to someone that's going to actually create that vision of wealth, to really add more value? Like what shifted? What happened inside of you?
I think it's once I started seeing that I have the ability to be anyone I want to be.
Mm,
Like we all do. If you have a sound mind and a sound body, if someone else has done what you're wanting to do, it's proof that it is possible. So, perfect example. If someone at my height, I'm 5'6", can dunk a basketball, if I've got a sound body, it's proof that I could do that if I trained to do it. Right.
yeah.
So at one time, I was able to dunk a basketball. I'm 5'6". Other people have done it. It's proof it's possible. Right.
Yeah, you're talking about
As I
Spud Webb.
started,
He's talking about Spud Webb, who played in NBA, by the way, folks. So Devin decided.
Spud
How old
Webb.
were you when you dunked? I mean, this is important for people to hear this.
See, this is what I wish I would have realized how powerful this thing is when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, I was extremely athletic. My favorite sport was basketball, and I was a sophomore in high school. And I'm like, I want to dunk. I want to dunk. Spud Webb has done it. I'm 5'6". Why can't I do it? So I started working on my vertical. I started doing plyometrics training. And my sophomore year in high school, I was able to dunk a basketball. I don't have big hands. I can't palm a ball. So I was getting up here on the rim at 5'6". So I wish that I could have correlated that then, like, holy crap, like I can do whatever I want to do as long as I put this thing to it. I had a singular focus. I'm going to dunk a basketball. What do I got to do to dunk a basketball? I did it. So I wish I could have correlated that back then. But when at 31, I started realizing, okay, I worked on me.
Yeah,
I've got this amazing woman now.
yeah.
And then as I started to keep working on me, I started to make more money at work. I started to save money. It was crazy. 3 years after my meltdown with my daughter, I'm making six figures a year. I've got 175 grand in my 401k. I'm like, this is incredible. Just by working on me, look where my life has gone. The crazy thing is, though, guys, with 175 grand in a 401k, making six figures a year, I still felt broke,
Yeah.
and I knew there was more. So,
I was
we,
about to ask you that exact question. Thank you. I mean, this is beautiful, man. It's like we're connected when I'm not even asking you questions. You're leading right into what I was thinking about for you. So far you've already proven yourself at a young age and you forgot. You forgot. You had 15 years where you forgot who you were. But you decide I'm going to dunk a basketball and then you did all the things. Like, but the thing that people have to hear first is it's a decision and then it's action. You heard the man say, I worked on my calves, I worked on my plyometrics, I worked on my power, right? To be explosive. My hands aren't that big. I have to get up higher than most people. He made the decision, right? And I'm even gonna say, like, there's a whole movie, White Man Can't Jump. This man proved them wrong. He's dunking at five,
I'm
six at high school.
I'm only half white, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I was able to dunk.
Yeah, maybe. But the whole point, for everyone listening is you made a decision and you kind of forgot who you were. And when you look back, it's really valuable to write what you've done in your life and remember who you are. Remember, you're made in God's image. So you're able to do, like Devin said, if you got sound body, sound mind, you can do whatever you want to do. So you're about to lead into this. So now you're making six figures. And this is most of the people we work with, right? Like this is most of you listening. This is most of the people I work with. You're making six figures. You're saving for the future. You've already in 3 years accumulated $175,000 in a qualified plan, right? In your 401k. And you just said that you still felt broke, right? So what was the next step when you started feeling like that? What did you do then?
I'll never forget this, guys. I was working at Rocket Mortgage. That's where I met my wife, Danielle, by the way. So I had been there. She was in a training class, a new training class, and I saw her walk by and I'm like, ooh. So I was like, saw where she sat. And then I actually knew someone in her training class from like 10 years prior. I saw him and I'm like, hey, I know that person. So I went up and was like, hey, Jorge, how you been? I'm like, hey, what's this one's deal back here? And he's like, oh, she's cool. She's young, single. I'm like, how young? Because I was 31. She was 23. So I was like, oh, great. This is going to be fun. And then I started talking to her. She was just an old soul and we just connected right away. But 3 years later, I'm working at that job and I hated every bit of it. I'm a horrible employee. I hate being told what to do. I can't stand someone saying, here, do it this way. I'm like, well, no, I do it this way and it works really, really well. So I'm just going to keep doing it this way. I'm just a bad employee. So I had a friend that worked at Quicken years prior that became a real estate investor doing flips and things like that. I watched HGTV. I was like, that seems cool. I could probably do that. So I reached out to him like, dude, what do I have to got to pay you to do a ride along for one day to see how it works? And I'll never forget Templeton Walker, my first
Oh, wow.
mentor. He said,
Okay. Yeah.
he's like, dude, you don't got to pay me shit. You're my homie. Let's come hang out. I'll show you what I do. I go on this ride along. He buys a house, sells it on a wholesale deal. 5 minutes later, makes 15 grand. I'm like, I can do that. So I started like actually getting into like what is wholesaling? Again, becoming more valuable. So I'm learning this stuff on YouTube. I'm reading books. I'm looking into real estate. Like I'm starting to study different markets. This is again, guys, money follows value. So unless you become more valuable, you'll never break through a ceiling. So I look at it like a room. This room is set to a temperature. Let's say it's 73 degrees. It's set up that way to where if it's at 73 degrees, if it gets a little warmer, it's going to kick on and cool it back down to 73. So what is your thermostat set at? I was like, you know what? I want to be set at 90. I want to explode. So I have to become more valuable to get to that. So started actually getting into real estate. I locked up my first contract October 7th, or no, yes, October 7th of 2019.
Hmm.
I go into Quicken the next day on October 8th and I resigned.
Hmm.
I bet on me. I was like, I can do this. So I went in there, I resigned, and I've never felt so elated in my entire life. When I left that office, I remember I had the windows down in my truck and I just screamed. Like I was like, whoa, I just like full on, just like let it all out, all the energy. And I was like, if anyone saw me, they're like, what the hell is with this
Hey,
guy?
what's yeah, yeah.
What's
It's like
going
you're
on with this guy?
it's like you're jamming out, singing at the top of your lungs, basically. You're just having full on
Just
celebration. We got to celebrate. You got to put that in your nervous system. That's what you're teaching people right now. Like when you do something good, celebrate. It's amazing.
just screaming it out. And that's another part of that book, Way of the Peaceful Warrior. It's like feelings come and go, right? If you have a bad feeling, let it out, right? Scream, get it out of your system, and then boom, back to what you need to do, right? So that was me just getting that all that emotion out of my body. Like it was incredible. And I started doing well. So by when COVID hit, March of 2020, I had done maybe like 8 or 9 real estate deals, some wholesaling. I had some flips going on with Templeton. We partnered up. I think we had even a rental that we were starting to do as an Airbnb.
Okay.
I had become a real estate investor by getting around them, Templeton and other people. So you're a product of your environment, guys. The more you surround yourself with anybody, if you surround yourself with people that are in great shape and go to the gym all the time, you're going to be someone who goes to the gym all the time and is in great shape. If you surround yourself with people that talk down on people and gossip, you're going to be that kind of person. If you surround yourself with people that are just moving and shaking at such a different level, you will rise to that group. It's just the way it is. So I became something more valuable, and my income and everything else started to follow, my net worth. And dude, from March of 2020, that's when things really exploded. So we can get into that if you want to.
Yeah, let's get in. So you're no, you're not 6 years in. You're 4 years from being broke on the couch, bankrupt,
Mhm.
crying, and having Haley look you in the eyes. And now you've met the woman of your dreams. You've created freedom by doing something, having the courage to go out on your own. You've proven to yourself you can do it. Now things are starting to take off. What does that look like? Like, walk us through what happens next.
So yeah, I was doing well. I think I was on track to make like 270 grand in real estate that year. Um, Not an employee, so I'm able to write things off. So I'm keeping more of that money I was making. And then COVID hit. So, guys, I was getting all my deals, those eight, nine deals, however many I did. I got them from going to like local meetups where real estate investors were just talking, being myself, making friends, and then joint venturing deals together. So meetups went away, right? Everyone's stuck in their house. I had a reflection point where I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, I left my job where I have security.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, guys, what do we call maximum security?
Prison.
Prison.
I like that. That's good.
So
I've never heard it that way. That's good.
so we all want security, but maximum security, so that's the most security is prison. So I was in prison as a W-2 employee, but I'm like, crap, I left that. What am I going to do? I don't know how to get deals. I reverted back to what got me to where I was, which was working on me. Everyone's stuck in their house. I've got plenty of time to work on me. So I started diving into books again. I started listening to podcasts, and I heard a podcast with Chris Noggle. Chris was talking about becoming the bank. And it made sense because I understood amortization, I understood interest rates because I was in the mortgage industry. Um, I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. I got to get on the phone with this guy. Got on the phone with him. I started a policy. By the end of that year, I got four policies. And I'm doing all my real estate deals with that policy. Again, guys, I cannot stress this enough. By the end of that year, I became a millionaire. And I had four policies where I was multiplying money doing real estate deals. How did that happen? I became more valuable. I learned infinite banking. I learned how to implement that into real estate. And as I did it, I started documenting it.
Mm.
I'd be on social media and I'd be walking around a house. Hey, we're going to take this wall down. We're going to, we're going to put up, a waterfall countertop here. We're going to switch I was just living it, right? And guys, end of 2020, I had like 250,000 followers on TikTok, just talking about infinite banking, how I was doing it. Wouldn't you know, everyone's like, how do I get a policy? How do I do that? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Go to this guy, Chris. That's who I got mine from.
Hmm.
What Chris will tell you this. Have you ever heard this story, Jason?
Parts of it, but not in this detail you're going to share right now. Parts of it. You've shared this with me a little bit. Yes.
So crazy, guys. I was sending to Chris Noggle probably 20 to 30 pieces of business, people looking for a policy a day. That's how like much attention I had on TikTok. And it hits me one day about a week into sending him all this business. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I'm the one that's teaching them this concept, and I'm just giving this business to Chris. There's got to be a way we can both benefit. So I get on the phone with Chris and I'm like, dude, got another 20 people for you, but just out of curiosity, any way I could capitalize on this too? And he's like, yeah, just get licensed and you can be on the case. I'm like, cool. So got licensed early 2021. And since then, I've set up thousands of policies. Crazy.
Thousands, thousands. And now, I mean, I don't know if I have the number exactly right, but I believe you carry north of $30 million of death benefit on your body, right?
I think it's just on me. Yeah, but my total like family, because I got 15 policies. I have parents, in-laws, kids, wife, everyone insured. I think it's like 50 million.
Wow. But 30 million just on you, right? So as a father, a husband, a son, Like, what does that actually mean to you emotionally?
Oh, it's incredible. It means that I can go out and be in a flow state. I think a lot of times with human nature being like if we are pressured to do something, it comes off as needy, right? Like
Mm.
if I had so much pressure on me to perform, I wouldn't show up a certain way. I would seem needy when I was talking to people. So if I can have no doubt in my mind that if I passed away tomorrow, my family gets $30 million, I can sleep at night with no like pressure. I'm good. And then I can just go perform in a flow state because I know they're taken care of regardless of what happens to me.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
That was beautiful. And for everyone listening, I mean, that was an internal shift I had as well. And it wasn't 30 million. It started out like 2.5 million. And I was like, oh my God, doing dumb stuff that guys do, riding my bike at 5 a.m. Like somebody talk about. All of a sudden I knew, hey, I was doing it to get out of debt. That's where I started, Devin. And all of a sudden it was like, we're cool. Like, wow, this is powerful. I didn't expect this shift. It's just like this internal shift. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. How would you describe that shift?
Um, I hate saying the word security, right? Because, like I said, maximum security is prison, but it does give you security just knowing that your family is taken care of when the inevitable happens. I'm going to die. It is going to happen. I hope it's a very long time from now because the way those policies work, the longer I live, the bigger the payout gets for my family.
Yeah.
So I hope I live a real long time and I hope they want me around more than they want $30 million. Otherwise, I'll start sleeping with one eye open. But it's just a great feeling knowing they are taken care of because I don't come from money. I come from a very lower middle class family. I never got anything nice growing up. So knowing that my family will always be taken care of is it's amazing.
No, thank you for sharing. That's awesome. So if your daughters are watching this replay 20 years from now, what would you want them to know about why you built everything you're building?
I think we're here for a blink of an eye. I mean, if you really stop and think about it, like how long humanity's been around for, like our lives are very, very short. It's very cliche, but it's true. They're like, I remember being 18 like it was yesterday. Tonight, my daughter, Haley, graduates from high school. She's
Wow.
18.
Wow. Congratulations to Haley. That's big. It's amazing.
Yeah, like I blinked and now I'm 41. So, like, there's going to be a day very soon where I'm 90, 95, and I reflect on, like, look at everything that's been built and it's generational. So, I have trusts in place, I have different things in place to where the money can't be squandered. I'm just going to keep building the net worth and building, policies. So, I'll look back and be like, wow, that's incredible what I've built. And the fact that it's not only going to be for Haley in Brooklyn, they're going to teach the same concepts that I'm teaching them to their
Mm,
kids.
mm.
And I think anyone can make money, especially nowadays with AI. Making money is not difficult. There's more than enough. The government prints trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. You can make money very easily. Keeping it and multiplying it is a different story.
Yeah.
So they're going to learn how to keep it and multiply it. And then they're going to teach their kids, my grandkids, how to keep it and multiply it. So I have this vision, guys, of generations from now, maybe, I don't know, a couple hundred years from now. The Burr family is in some huge mansion, and up on the mantle,
I love
there's a
this.
pitch. There's a picture of me, Grandpa Burr, Grandpa Mr. Burr, and they'll be drinking out of their crystal freaking glasses, and it'll be amazing. Right? They'll just be maybe having a cigar, cigar and some liquor, and they'll just be like looking at me like, "Oh, it's all because of Grandpa Burr." I just have this vision of like having that elite of a family, and I won't be around to see it, but it'll just be cool to know that um, I'll live on through that legacy that I started building back in 2020.
That's beautiful. I love that vision. I actually use that. I got that from you, I believe, about the painting of you're over the mantle place. Everybody's running around, they're laughing, and they toast to you. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to go out in the future and think long range, right? So it's something a lot of people don't do, by the way, too. So take some time tonight. This will be a takeaway for everyone listening, and go dream about what you would want to see 100 years from now, 200 years from now, and really give yourself permission to just dream like Mr. Burr, Devin just shared with us, right? And a lot of times success, when we look at America, when we look at the world right now, it often gets success gets framed as bigger houses, nicer cars, more stuff, more stuff. And you just talked about something so much bigger than that. So when did it start shifting for you when you started seeing wealth differently, when it became more about a responsibility, a stewardship versus like, hey, I've got the watches. Like you said, you didn't grow up a lot, but I've got the watches. I got my shoe collection. Like if everybody could see your office, right? I've got my shoe collections. I got the cool stuff. But when did that shift for you? Or when did you start really thinking that way?
I think it's when I became a millionaire in end of 2020. Because I remember running all the numbers and taking like our assets and then minusing out our liabilities. And it was like 1,032,480 bucks. I think it's actually pretty close. I have it written down. But I went to my wife and I'm like, babe, we're millionaires. And she like looks at me, she's like, okay. I'm like, yeah. I didn't feel like it wasn't any like life-changing number. It's just like, oh, we're millionaires. But I think with money, the more you have of it, the less value you put on it. What
Mm,
I mean by that is if there's a homeless person on the side of the road and I go give them $100 bill, that's going to be so much money to them. $100 is so much money to them. If I give you $100, Jason, you're gonna be like, thanks, Devin, I appreciate that. But it's like a lot of money to you. Like if I gave you $1 million, you'd be like, dude, what did I do?
yeah,
Right?
what happens now? What do I have to do? Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
law of reciprocity. Does this mean I got to give him like 2 million bucks? Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
What's happening? What just happened? That's funny.
but think about this. If I give $1 million to Jeff Bezos, he's like, what am I going to do with this? I could drop it and walk over it and make more in the time it takes to walk over it. You know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
more you have, the less you value it.
Mm,
So as I started getting more money, I stopped putting so much value on the money and I started putting value on the game.
mm.
And what I mean by that is like, this goes back to my original point. If you have a sound body, sound mind, if someone else has done it, it's proof it's possible. So right now I'm in the building stage of growing a huge virtual team where my goal by next year is to have 1,000 agents. 1,000 agents, my agency will be doing $10 million in premium per
Wow.
month.
Wow.
I'll be printing money, but it's not about me. It's about getting 1,000 agents to do what I've already done, which is make life changing money in life insurance. So that'll feel amazing. The fact that I've impacted 1,000 people and then they can essentially impact more people as well. So it's the ripple effect of you throw a rock in a pond. How big is the rock? That's how big the ripple is going to get. If you throw a little pebble, there's not going to be much ripple. I want to make huge freaking ripples. And by doing that, I'm going to be better off financially, but it's not about that. It's about the emotional income that comes with it. And that change would have never happened if I didn't become rich back in 2020.
And I was looking forward to asking you about this because some of our personal conversations, right? Because I saw someone that's capable of whatever they want, like you've been sharing, right? If you can have the vision, if you see someone else has done it, and oh, I'll save that for a second. You said something that made me laugh out loud because I recognized it, and I think other men, other spouses, maybe even women will recognize this. You told Danielle, "Babe, we're millionaires. Look, here's our assets minus our liabilities. It's over $1 million." She's like, "Yeah, cool." How has your relationship? I mean, she met you at the beginning of this journey. How has your relationship with Danielle evolved as you've built wealth together? Like, what does that financial leadership in your marriage look like?
I tell people all the time, like I would have nothing without her. For one, like again, I was nothing before her. So if we ever got divorced, like she deserves half of everything. You know what I mean? Maybe more. Because the reason I was able to leave my job in 2019 is because she was doing really well at the career at Quicken. She was making more than I was as a loan officer. And we didn't have a bunch of expenses. Our mortgage was like 1,500 bucks a month.
Mm,
Both cars were paid off. Um, I'd say our monthly outgo was 4 grand. So her income was more than enough to cover it. So again, I could go out and be in a flow state with no pressure,
wow.
just
Wow, that's
and just
huge. That's huge. Yeah.
so big. I could not have done it without her. If she didn't work or maybe she didn't make a lot of money, I wouldn't been able to go and be in a flow state and grow my business the way I did. So having her at my side has given me an unfair advantage
Mm.
because she makes on her own as a W-2 employee at Quicken at least a $500,000 a year. I don't need to make any money, but I've far surpassed her. She doesn't need to work now, but it's nice having an extra 500 grand, and she likes having the purpose, so to speak. So
Yes.
it's been great, man. Building together. We've got plans of just taking things to just such a high level, and I wouldn't do it with anyone else. She's amazing.
She is amazing. We know her well. She's an incredible mom, incredible person to hang out with. So awesome. Patty loves her, right? And then now I'm going to take it back to where you started to go because you built this wealth, if you will. You've inspired, you've educated, you keep putting out great content and helping others. It's just an invitation, right? It's the same thing Jesus did. You're just inviting people like, hey, I did this thing, I've documented it. Here's how it works. Like those are the most impactful things in leadership. Like I've done it, here's how I did it. I can show you. Would you like to know? Right.
Right.
So you've done that. And we connected maybe, I don't know, it hasn't been that long, maybe 2, 3 months ago. And we were just talking about like where you were and you kind of felt like you were a little bit directionless. Is that accurate?
Stagnant. Yeah. Yeah. Just
Stagnant, directionless.
no purpose.
And to see
Yeah.
you so fired up about what you're building, like I'm so in well, one, I admire it. Two, I'm just so ecstatic and blessed to like see it happening in real time and hear your excitement. And I think this is my personal opinion. I've gotten some calls before, Devin, where someone from a big company that pushes IULs. It's like, hey, Sip, this is gonna be a $10 million conversation. I'm like trying to get away from the phone as far as possible, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all about making money and being rich. It's not about
Yeah.
service, but like knowing that you're going to have 1,000 agents underneath you that are just looking to create more money and less time with more magic and have more purpose and help people with things they need to be helped with. Tell us more about that vision. Where do you see it being 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Like, where do you want to be? Like, what is that new big vision for you?
Great question, dude. So I'm 41. Um, I've been told by so many people that 40s are better than 30s. And
100%.
I was told that 30s were better than 20s, so I can attest to that because in my 20s I was a wreck and drunk most of the time, So I don't remember half of it. But 30s were great. It built a foundation. 40s is like the where everything just explodes. Power of compounding, that hockey stick going up to the right. But the big vision is, I'd say within 3 years, have 4,000 agents. At that point, we could sell the book of business for over $300 million. So
Mm.
the vision is really just, hey, keep building. If we love having this business and we want to just keep running it and have it print money and help more people, get more agents to get to multiple six figures and seven figures, do it. If we've kind of lost the purpose and like the joy, sell it, have a bunch of capital to go build something else that brings joy. So I don't know exactly what that'll be 10 years from now, but who knows? I'll still only be 51, a young man by all accounts. And
Thank you for calling me young. I appreciate that.
you are young because at the end of the day, dude, the
Yeah.
average life expectancy now is about 80. And that's going to balloon quite a bit. Now, quality of life, that's a different story, right?
Yeah.
So you can live to 80, but how many quality years are in there? Or are you just taking medication to keep you alive?
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer of taking care of yourself. I stay at like 7% body fat. I drink a ton of water. I eat clean. I pretty much do everything I can for my health with biohacking and all that. So I want to live a long time, but quality years. Dude, 50, if you take care of yourself, and then with modern technology and I think you could live to 130, 140, no problem.
Yeah, there's a couple of biohackers out there that believe that there's someone on Earth that's going to live to 150 right now. So, and I know that you like cold plunging. I know that you like biohacking. I mean, we could have a whole we could have a whole episode on that, talking about books and biohacking and
Yeah.
fun and health and longevity and fatherhood and all these things. And I think what for everyone listening, and one of my big takeaways of hearing what you're sharing is be a creator, be a builder. We talk about being a builder all the time versus a borrower. Like, go add value, go be more valuable yourself. It's the fourth law of wealth. Like, invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself to become more valuable because whatever problem you solve, how big the problem is, this is what I want to teach Connor. This is what we're teaching Diego. Like, go add more value in the world, and the more problems you solve, you'll have more than you could ever even dream that you can have.
That's it.
Right. And
That's
if
it.
you're not at the point where you're getting what you want, go find a way to solve bigger problems. Like, I was inspired this week by some of our other teammates and what they're learning right now. I'm like, you know what? I said I'm only about IBC, but I'm going to learn that. If it's slow, I'm going to learn that along with doing this, right? And so as we kind of wrap up here, we went a little long, so I'm really blessed that people have stayed on and to hear. It's incredible, brother, incredible. But for the dad, for the family listening right now, who still feels broke, scared, behind, maybe ashamed, right? That's a big spiral for dads, especially making a lot of money. Like, I talked to a guy making $200,000 tell me he feels like he should hide in the closet a couple weeks ago. Like, what would you say to that man or that woman who's sleeping on their own metaphorical couch right now?
I would say that I tell people this all the time that you are best equipped to help the person you used to be.
Mm,
So share your story, share your struggles. Like once I started opening up to my vulnerability of my down points in my life, I started to really affect people. Like I've been to events where I spoke and I share my story, like that down moment with my daughter, and I've had people come up to me afterwards, almost in tears, like you don't understand it now, but you've changed my life with that story, and that feels so amazing because I know that that person is just in a situation where I was, and I'm now the proof that they could get out of it.
mm,
So work on you, as Jason said, be obsessed with working on you because the only way you get good at anything is with a level of obsession.
yeah.
Again, I was obsessed with dunking a basketball when I was
Mm,
17. I accomplished it because I was obsessed with it. I became very successful at infinite banking because I became obsessed. When I learned this concept, guys, I was up at 2 in the morning reading articles on my phone. Danielle was waking up like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to change our lives.
yeah.
Don't worry, go back to bed. I'm changing our lives." And
Yeah.
she's like, Okay. Like,
The
I
moment
was
you go down that
obsessed.
rabbit hole, the moment you go down that rabbit hole, we've talked to thousands and thousands of people. I call it going down the rabbit hole. It's obsessive. I just put in the chat, be passionate, be obsessed, and most importantly, what I've heard from everything here, believe in yourself.
Yep.
Believe in yourself. Give yourself some more grace. There's in our society right now, Devin, the hustle, I don't believe in the hustle culture. I don't believe in getting a side hustle, doing more, working longer, I mean, is there a time for that? Is there a season for that? Absolutely. I'm not saying that hard work is overrated, but I believe that it's more about loving ourselves more. It's more about understanding that God already loves us and then we can go perform. I
Yeah.
spent 46 years performing to be accepted. And I'm still looking to break that pattern at times. And so just what I hear from you, and I'm so in admiration and in gratitude, is your depth of vulnerability, your amount of belief in yourself. Like, who's not going to listen to you, brother, with what you're doing? You've already recruited a whole bunch of people to join your team, right? How many people do you have joined? You launched this thing within a month. How many people are
We
under you
have
already?
licensed and already onboarded, it's 21, and then we've got like 30 something getting their license. So
Wow.
within about a month we'll have at least 50 or so.
And it's going to go exponential. It's going to be hockey stick, right? As you keep doing that and
Yeah.
they share success with their people, that ripple effect, the rock gets bigger. Um, for you, I guess, how can people find you? What you shared so valuable. How can people find you? How do you want people to find you, follow you, to learn more about you?
The biggest thing is my Instagram. It's Mr. underscore Burr. So that's B followed by four R's. If you shoot me a DM, I respond to all of them. It's actually me. So I generally do that while I'm doing cardio in the morning. So I respond to everybody.
And your
So,
little tiny tank top, right, that he wears sometimes on our morning meetings, right?
oh
So,
yeah, yeah. Have
yeah,
have a nip slip every once in a while.
yeah. I was like, man, put some
Um,
clothes on.
yeah. So reach out to me. I'll definitely get back to you. One thing I just want to touch on real quick, because you made a point of it, is love on yourself. Because honestly, you get in the world what you give out. And if you're constantly in a state of love, love is the most powerful emotion and thing there is. So if you constantly love yourself and congratulate yourself for little things, you're gonna get more of those things. I know it's so cliche, the law of attraction, but it is so true. Like, how often do we just beat ourselves up during the day? Like the littlest things, we just beat ourselves up. And instead of thinking of all the little cool things that we've done or all the little cool things that have happened to us, a person just walks by you and throws you a smile. Like there's no ordinary events in this life. Everything is extraordinary if you look at it that way. If you look at someone like smiling at you on the side of the street as an extraordinary event, that's what it is. But you could be like, oh, they're just looking for something. You know what I mean? Like you could twist it to be negative.
Yeah,
That's what we usually
scarcity
do.
versus abundance, gap versus gain, right? Love versus
Yeah.
fear, right? Like that's what you're describing. And
It's the law of polarity, man. There's an up, there's a down, there's a left, there's a right, there's a positive, there's a negative to everything. It's your job to find the positive. It's your job to find something that'll serve you. And you have to serve you before you can serve others. I look at it like a cup. If I am a cup, I can fill myself up, become more valuable until I get to the top. There's only so much I can fill myself up with.
yeah.
If I stop there, I've affected me. I've bettered my life. If I keep filling myself up, what happens? It spills over. That's when it affects other people. So you never stop filling your cup up because it spills over and serves everyone in your vicinity. The more you're spilling over, the more people you can affect and the more people that you can change their lives. That's what it's about. But it starts with you.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. I truly believe that that is the definition of legacy. Like if I was to define legacy, what Devin just said is the same definition. Like we have Chief Master Nary in our lives. We're blessed to have an eighth degree black belt. I think he's 11-time world champion in Taekwondo instructing us. And Devin,
Translation, he'll whoop your ass real quick if you
dude,
if
when
you
he gets
slip
the
up.
crazy look, I've gotten the spar with him, and like he'd call out where he was going to hit me, and then he hit me like right there. But I mean, he was gentle because he could have just wrecked me. But with him, what he's telling us before he tests for grandmaster, before he becomes a ninth degree, he will have nine masters underneath him. To become a master, you have to be a fifth degree black belt and you have to go through a mastership program. So his ripple effect, that rock he's throwing, because every master has to have other people underneath them. So you keep spreading the message. And that's what we're doing with helping people with the infinite banking concept, helping people with other tools on the tool belt in the financial world, because frankly, we're all lied to. We're
Yep.
all lied to. Like we're not told the truth. And so when we start learning it and you start looking at legacy, it's really about who have you gone and affected. Like we got Pastor Kelly. I'll shout you out. He's going through his life insurance licensure right now because he
Nice.
said that the number one, right, the number one thing that he deals with when with relationships with couples that are struggling is financial struggles. And he's implemented this. His kids are doing this, Devin. Can you imagine like a pastor now being an infinite banking practitioner? So legacy is about going,
The
doing it.
power of the power of the Lord on his side. So I love it.
Yeah, doing it yourself. And any last bits of advice? We're going really long, but brother, thank you for being here. Love you, man. And anything else you want to share with the group?
Love you too, dude. That's one thing that I used to kind of be weirded out by is a grown man saying I love you to another grown man. But I started to realize like love is just amazing. Like who doesn't want to be loved? You know? Like who doesn't want to be loved? At the end of the day, it's the best emotion. We all want it. So how do you get it? You give it. Just give, 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 give as much of you as you can. The only way you can do that is become really, really valuable.
Mm.
So become valuable, give that value to other people with love, and it'll come back to you tenfold with love. So that's my parting thoughts, and I hope that it strikes a chord for somebody and it changes your direction.
When you think about someone who goes from where Devin was at to broke, having his 9-year-old daughter look him in the eyes and tell him he's the best daddy in the world, and inside he didn't feel that he was doing anything to deserve her appreciation, to being a multimillionaire, to building amazing things now and in the future and serving so many people. What a blessing. It's amazing when we're able to share these kind of stories. If this resonated with you, go ahead and smash the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this so you get alerted to all the new content and stories like Devin's, where we're able to spread this message and help more people regain that sense of certainty and that structure without stress. So invite everyone to this, and I'll see you in this next video. Until then, be blessed.